Okay, guys, this is the first set of notes that we're going to do, and it's on government. We're going to look at what government is and why we have it. The first thing we're going to look at is why, well, let me see. If you think about basketball or football, can you play those games without rules? I don't think you can. So that's why government is important if you can kind of make the connection. If you look at the root word of government, we're going to look at the word govern. The word govern is to control or strongly influence the actions of others. Sort of like rules. When you're playing basketball or football, you have to work within the confines of those rules. And so they are being strongly influenced, especially their actions, and they're being controlled within a game whenever you play. Now the word government for this class, what I want you to know is that government is the ruling forces of a community or society that has the power to make and enforce laws. This body makes decisions which impact its members. So the most important thing I want you to get from this is the idea of laws, and you have a group of people who are making laws to sort of control what everybody is doing within our society. So the two words on this page is govern and government. In this class, we're going to look at three major types of government. Those are going to be an authoritarian type government, a democratic government, and a dictatorship type government. Now these are the early governments that hopefully you saw in world history, and hopefully you kind of remember what they mean. This is going to be a quick review. For an authoritarian government, that's where you have one group of leader that holds the power. And this person or this group of people have absolute power. And so with that, they have control over every aspect of a nation and its people. So they control everything that these people can do. How they live, what religion they have, how they make money, everything. And with that, the most common example you'll see is a king, and they're going to be a monarch as well. So king and monarchy are the same thing. It's one person controlling everything that you do in your life. All right. The other major type of government that was found that you should have studied in world history was a democratic form of government or a republican form of government. And that's where you have the idea that citizens hold the power to rule and not just one person. So in a democracy, you'll have a group of people who are making decisions on how they want to live and how they're going to exercise the powers that they have to make rules and to enforce those rules to make sure everybody coexists peacefully. Now, a dictatorship is something you should have covered last year. We're not going to get into that right now, but be sure you know the difference between a democracy and a monarchy, which is under the authoritarian government. Now, with democracy, it's an absolute contrast to an authoritarian government. In a democracy, everybody's involved. So when everybody's involved in a democracy, they're seeking the idea of becoming a citizen. And a citizen is a community member who owes loyalty to that government in which they participate in, and in return, they get protection. So in an absolute monarchy or in an authoritarian government, citizens really don't exist because they have no say-so in government. But in a democracy, you do have citizens. And the reason why people want to become citizens is this right here. As a citizen, you get rights. You get to exercise certain freedoms that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do in an authoritarian government. Well, hopefully you got everything about what government is, the differences between the two, and what a citizen is, and why people seek citizenship. In the class tomorrow, we're going to go over this again and kind of combine everything, so hopefully you'll get it down pat.